Hey, it's Ruby. Welcome back to my channel and to our Q1 recap of all the 55 books that I read in the first quarter from January through March. 55 books, man. Like I can't believe it. I've definitely been reading more than last year. I haven't been trying to read more. I just have been. I think as I read more and more, I do get better at it. I do get a little faster and I do really get to know what I like and what I don't. However, I'm on a mission to go through all my physical TBR, which is why we have so many challenges like Bookshelf Ultimatum, Clear the Cart. Like, it's so fun to me to go through these books to see what I think and then to hear what you think, because oftentimes it's not the same. And I think that that is amazing because ultimately I started my channel because I love talking about books and I love hearing what you have to say, even if it's not the same, especially when it's not the same. It's just so interesting, like how different we are and how we can still be friends and enjoy different things, but we all love books so much that we just bond because, for the love of the book. So today we're going to be going through all of them. I pulled all the ones that I own and I made a list. And I don't know if you can tell, but we have a lot of green over here. The green are the books that I don't own. We have one over here in the 5-star region, but that's because they don't make that. But for the most part, through all these series that I do, if I don't like a book, I unhaul it because my mission is to have just books that I love or that I know that I'll be rereading on my shelves. And I've been doing pretty good. So I'm proud of me. We're going to go through them in ascending order. We're going to have timestamps, the 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, and 6 stars because there are 2 6-star reads. And if you follow me on Goodreads, which you totally should, I have everything on shelves, and on my 6-star shelf, there's only 3 books. So I'm so excited to go through these. We're going to be doing rapid fire edition. My ratings, take them with a grain of salt. I've said it before. I have it on Goodreads. I am the harshest with fantasy and sci-fi. That is my genre. So that is what I'm the harshest with. Romance, I'm pretty forgiving, and I'm the most forgiving with Christmas books. I recently read a holiday book. It didn't even have a lot of Christmas in it, but I gave it 4 stars, but then I said, like, this is more like a 2-star, but it's me. So anyway, let's get into it. Starting off with the 2-star reads, these are books that I could have done without. These are books that I'm not going to go out of my way to recommend, but I also won't tell you to stay away from it. Just the okay ones that I really could have done without reading. I don't own any of these because I either used the library or I unhauled them, because typically I unhaul anything that I rate under 3 stars. So first up, a dark romance, Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. Dark romance isn't for me, and this was the last book that I read where I was trying to give the subgenre a shot. Like, I was trying to figure out if it was for me. It's not, but very popular book. In this, we follow this guy who essentially posts thirst traps on TikTok and he wears a mask. So you don't know who he is, but he's like, you see all his body and his mask, and there's this girl, this nurse, who is obsessed with him. Like, she freaking is so thirsty for him. She's like frothing at the mouth for this guy, and they end up meeting in real life and dark romance, but it's just not for me. So I gave this one 2 stars. It was from the library, so no harm done there. Next up, we have Laura the Wilds, which I got through Fairy Loot. And this one, it was like the very first adult romantasy book that they did. And I just didn't love it. I felt like it read very YA. I didn't love the characters. I didn't really believe the love triangle. And the story was just, like, it ended okay enough to like make me want to read the second and final book in the duology, but I'm not gonna run out and buy it because this one was just like forgettable. But we do have Humans, Fairies, a Magical Library, and kind of a quest. So yeah. The next one, Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, I unhauled it because I enjoyed this book well enough, and I feel like the 2 books that I read with her, like from her, I've enjoyed them, but something happens that just pisses me off. And for this one, there was a cheating trope, but it was emotional cheating. However, this girl was engaged to be married and went back home to find a location for her wedding. And while she's there, she meets her childhood sweetheart and they strike up they kind of like, the spark's still there, man. And the whole time she's like wanting to be with this guy, thinking about this guy while she's with her fiance. And it just, if somebody was doing that to me, like, it would piss me off, it would hurt me, and I unhauled it. 2.5 stars for that one. I don't regret unhauling it. Then The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. I did unhaul the duology, but I did rate the other one higher, so it's not on here. I gave this one 2.5 stars. If you know, this is a spin-off series, spin-off duology from the Cruel Prince trilogy. I really, really like the Cruel Prince trilogy. I love the first two books, didn't really like the last book, but I love Jude and Carden. They are great characters. And in this world, we do have fairies. We have Seelie, Unseelie, very like fairy-like fairies, and even more so in The Prisoner's Throne. Like, our FMC has blue skin, sharp teeth, like, you know, she's vicious. But I just didn't love these characters the way that I love the OG ones, so it didn't work for me. Try it out. I mean, Holly Black is beloved for her world, for Elfheim. Just wasn't for me. And then the last one coming in at 2.75 stars. Not even I gave this one a pass. Love Light Farms. It is a Christmas book, but really there's not a whole lot of Christmas. There just really isn't. And I need some Christmas for me to give you a pass. And this one didn't really have it a lot. She does own a Christmas tree farm, but the vibes just weren't there. The romance was just meh. So thankfully I didn't buy this one. I read it from the library, but I don't recommend it. There are much better Christmas books, like In the Holidays by Christina Lauren, where you actually get Christmas. Like, they're doing Christmas stuff the whole time. Moving on to the 3-star reads. These are the okay books. These are the books that I enjoyed, but you know, I didn't love it. I'm not gonna go out of my way to recommend it. I'm not gonna be like, you have to read this. They were okay. I don't regret reading them, but I also probably won't be thinking about them much. So, the middle of the road. Let's start. First up, we have Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, and a popular opinion because a lot of people love this book more so than Legends and Lattes. But that didn't happen for me. This is a prequel to Legends and Lattes. We follow Viv, an orc who is hurt. She's injured, so she can't carry on as a mercenary. So she kind of stays put in this little town, meets the townspeople, helps rebuild a bookshop. And she's also trying to solve this little mystery, but I just didn't get the same cozy feelings that I got with the first one, Legends and Lattes. And because it was a prequel that was published after the first book, I already knew that the friendships and relationships in this were not going to be like everlasting. So that kind of affected me personally. And yeah, I did unhaul this one. I have it listed on my Pango, but it hasn't sold, which is why I still have it. And I gave it 3 stars. A good book, just not one I need to keep. Next up, another 3-star read, Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. This is very reminiscent of the Eden series by Daphne Perry, but it's not as good as the Eden series. And I've only read this first book, but it was not as good as the Eden series. In this, we have just a romance, a small town romance. We have a single dad and a nanny. But again, it was just okay. They very much are insta lusty and they try to just keep it sex and that's it, but they fell. My favorite part of this were the kids, which is never a thing. I never really loved the kids over everything else. And to me, they were the best part because the adults, they weren't that great. But I do think it has potential. I did like his brother, which book 2 follows his brother. And just like with the Eden series, we're going to be following the siblings. I mean, it's okay, but the Eden series is better. The last of our 3-star reads, Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Now, that was a gracious 3 stars. I felt like this should have been 2.5 stars, but I don't know. In this, we follow 3 brothers and they are set to inherit billions and move on within the company because their grandpa was the CEO of Dreamland, which is essentially Disney World in this world. They each have a task that they have to complete, and if one of them fails, they all fail. The dad is the villain. They hate their dad, but this brother was the eldest brother. His name's Declan, and he was just such an asshole, and he stayed a jerk the entire time until the end. So I didn't love him, so I didn't love this book. The girl was really young and kind of stupid. Didn't love these characters, and it did kind of ruin it for me, but gracious 3 stars. We have 2 books that came in at 3.25 stars. The first one I don't own and I'm not gonna buy. It is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is book 3 in the When in Rome series. Book 1 was When in Rome. Book 2, my favorite, was Practice Makes Perfect. And this is following the eldest sister from the bunch. I liked it. I just didn't like it enough to go buy it. I definitely preferred it over When in Rome, though. That first one was my least favorite. But in this, we follow the eldest sister, and she and the love interest, they're like the same person. They're both feisty. They're both strong-willed and have a strong character. They're both elementary school teachers. It's not like opposites attract. Absolutely not. They are essentially the female and male version of each other, and I really did like that. But all in all, I just didn't feel in love with them and their love. Like, it was good, it just wasn't great, you know. But I do like the small town vibe. I do like seeing the other characters, so I do recommend it. But it just wasn't my fave of the bunch. The next one is an unpopular opinion. Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli, the conclusion to the Crimson Moth duology. The first one was Heartless Hunter, or the Crimson Moth in the UK. I really like Heartless Hunter. I think I gave it 4 stars. This one I gave 3.25 stars. I just didn't like it as much. I felt like the loss of a character from the first book actually did affect my enjoyment of this one, and I just wasn't really invested in the plot. I did like the characters. I feel like the plot lost me, and you know, again, I don't regret it. I did like it. 3.25 stars. It just was not a favorite of mine. Very middle of the road, but an unpopular opinion because people like gave this 5 stars left and right. So keep that in mind. But it is fun. We follow witches and humans, witch versus witch hunter, and romantasy. It is pretty good. We have 3 books coming in at 3.5 stars. The first one is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I think it was a little generous with this one. I think I should have just given it 3 stars, but I gave it 3.5. In this, we have a swimmer and a diver. They compete for Stanford, and they're into the kinky stuff. They like S&M. The sub-dom stuff is in here. It's not super like in your face. Like, it's there, but I was expecting it to go really hard based on what everybody was saying, and it wasn't. Like, it was there, but it was nothing crazy. But I just didn't love these characters. I felt like they were both unlikable, and even more so, they have this friend, and it's borderline like a triangle, but this friend is so freaking annoying, and she's always like inserting herself in the middle, and it's just so annoying. And I'm sorry, but like, there was just nothing about this book that I loved. My favorite part was seeing a couple from a previous book that literally just makes a cameo. So I feel like I was generous with the 3.5 stars, probably because it's Ali Hazelwood, but definitely bottom of the bunch from her books for me, for sure. I think the only ones that I liked less were, what was that book that she released right before this one? Not in Love. Did not like that one. I didn't like Love on the Brain, and then I didn't like the novella bind up that she did. I forgot what it's called, but you know, the 3 little novellas. Didn't like that one either. Everything else I liked. Then we have a little short story that you can find on Kindle Unlimited. You can get the ebook and the audiobook. It's The Walrus by Abby Jimenez. A little like 82-page short story. It was cute, it was fun, but it was 82 pages. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think it should have been like a 3-star, but yeah, we follow this girl who's being terrorized by a stalker, and she lives on a floor with this other guy across the hall. Their stairs for their building get removed accidentally. Like, they removed the wrong stairs from the wrong building, and so they're stuck over the weekend on this floor, and nobody can get up, they can't get down. But she just feels this immense relief because her stalker can't get to her. And man, the way that she really has been terrorized by this guy, like, I did feel it. So I think I applaud her, Abby Jimenez, for making me feel for her in 82 pages. But it was insta love because they fall in love in a weekend. Keep that in mind. And the last of our 3.5 stars, Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I do really like this world. I liked the side characters. It's just the main couple that I didn't love. And I didn't really care for the single dad thing in here. Like the way that that was done, I was like, I don't love that. I really don't. So this was 3.5 just because I didn't love the MMC and the FMC, but we have this whole series is dealing with single dads that happen to be billionaires in a small town. Ridiculous? Yes. Can they be entertaining though? Yes. And I do think that I'm gonna like the second book a lot more because he comes out in here and I liked him more than I liked the MMC from this book forward. So I think that'll be a good one. And finally, the 3.75 star reads. First up, we have Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. I was looking forward to this so much. This is YA fantasy, and people were like, if you liked Fourth Wing, you're gonna love Fireborn. Fireborn is what Fourth Wing tried to be. Like when everybody was hating on Fourth Wing, everybody was raving about Fireborn. So I was like, I need to read this because I love dragons. So I read this and unfortunately I didn't love it. And I don't think it's remotely comparable to Fourth Wing. The only thing that they share is that they are in like a school setting in this, but the dragons, like I expected to get so much of the dragons and absolutely not. If Fourth Wing is 100% with dragons, this was like 20 because in Fourth Wing, they bond with them. Like their powers are based on the connection with the dragons. In this, the dragons are just a mode of transportation, essentially, that eventually become a weapon. But the bonds are just not there. I mean, they're bonded to them, but it's just very, very minimal on the dragons. And it looks like it's headed to more on the politics, but I'm just not very invested. So I think ultimately I'll probably unhaul this trilogy, but I still need to read books 2 and 3. Then we have one that I don't own, Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I got this as an ARC and I read it because I'll read anything that Lynn Painter puts out. This is part of her adult catalog though. We all know she writes YA and adult, and I just didn't love it. Like it was good, but it was just okay. And I do not feel like I need to go out and buy it. However, I do recommend it because in this we follow our main character who goes by Amy initially, but that's not her name. I forgot her name, but she essentially is waiting at Starbucks for her coffee, for her pumpkin spice latte, and it's taking forever. And it's her first day at a brand new job that she's so excited that she got. And they keep calling Amy's name for a pumpkin spice latte, and Amy is nowhere to be seen. Like they have called her so much. And so this girl's like, fuck it. Like, I'm Amy, I'm here. And she takes the pumpkin spice, turns around and just dumps it all over this dude. And she's just mortified. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She tries to like wipe him down, and he's like tall and like ripped, and she can feel his muscles, and he's like, it's okay. He finds it really endearing and like cute and like whatever. Like, oh, she's so clumsy. Yeah, and so he heard that her name was Amy, so he's like, don't worry about it, Amy. And then they go to work, and lo and behold, he's there. Not only that, he's the boss. He finds out that her name's not Amy. So yeah, it starts off rough and it keeps going that way. It was entertaining, and honestly, I don't know, I might buy it. Like I liked it. I just didn't need to like run out and get it, but it was cute. Like it was good. It just wasn't like, you know, my favorite book ever, but I do recommend it. We need to pick up the pace. Next up, First Time Caller by BK Borison. Everybody's been giving this 5 stars. I just didn't love it. I'm sorry. I didn't love the love. It is a Sleepless in Seattle remake, reimagining. They, you know, radio show host, and they meet, they fall in love. They're trying to look for love for her through the show, and they end up falling in love. And that's not a spoiler, because if you watch Sleepless in Seattle, then you know what's coming. A lot of people find him like just so swoony. I just didn't. I didn't love the characters or the story. Like, I mean, it was good. It just wasn't great. I'm glad that I read it, but I'm never going to reread it, and I don't need to buy it. Then we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. Again, it was cute. It was fun. It was fast. It was unserious. They end up texting each other. He texts her. It's the wrong number. He doesn't know is the one that he's texting, and they happen to know each other in real life because she is his best friend and roommate's little sister. So, you know, they go the whole time with their little flirtation, and eventually they do find out that it's each other. And yeah, it was quick, it was fast. I do recommend it, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to read it. Then we have The Rose Bargain. I was so excited to read this because this was described as like Bridgerton Regency romance with fairies and a love triangle, which are all things that I love. And unfortunately, this didn't hit the way that I thought it was. It is YA, but I don't know, I just didn't love the love triangle. I felt like it was not executed amazingly. It was good, just not great. The story, the plot was okay. Like, I enjoyed the fact that she is vying for his hand in marriage, the fairy prince's hand in marriage, and competing against this girl like these other girls. And people say it's like the selection. I've never read that, but they are competing against each other, so that's what I'm taking from that. But yeah, it was good, not great. I do think that it ended promising. I feel like the second book and the conclusion of the duology has promise. We do get fairies in here. Like, there's a lot of fairy talk, and I think we're gonna have them present in book 2 a lot more than what we had here. So I'm hopeful. I will read the next one. And then we have a little short story. It's probably like a novella instead of a novel. A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is really good. This is horror. We get Dracula's story, but it's told by the lead wife, the main wife, Constanza. And I really love hearing the story from her point of view and seeing the shit that she went through with this dude. And I just think it's really unique and it's really impactful in such a little short book. I definitely recommend this. I hardly ever rate novellas super high because they're not like full-length novels, but this was good. You get everything. You get characterization, character development, a plot, like everything. Read it. And then the last one, The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, the first book in a trilogy. This, we follow 6 people that are competing against each other in order to join this secret society called the Alexandrian Society. It is dark academia and it's very character driven. The plot is there and it kind of becomes more prevalent at the end. Like, I feel like book 2, the plot will pick up. It'll be more plot centric, but this is very character focused and all the characters in here suck. They're so unlikable, but they are interesting. So I feel like that is the key. They are insufferable. They are so pretentious, but they are the best at what they do. So I get it. I get why they're like that. They're not like that just because they're, you know, douches. They are the best at what they do. So I get it. But I feel like this was just okay, but there's potential. We'll see how book 2 goes. Moving on to the 4-star reads. These are books that I thought were good. They were solid. I would recommend them, but they just weren't favorites. They weren't 5-star. There are some things that I would potentially change in these stories, but I probably will reread them in the future. I probably will recommend them. So let's go through them because, like I said, this is what I have the most of. So like I said, all of these are 4 stars. We have the entirety of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. This is so beloved. I mean, like, people love this trilogy. I liked it. I didn't love it. I gave every single book 4 stars. And if I had to choose a favorite, the third one would be my favorite. Unpopular opinion, because a lot of people hated it, but I really liked it. I did like that additional POV that we got. And this reads very fairy tale like, very whimsical, but it's not overly flowery because I don't like super flowery writing. It's just like the perfect amount of description. I feel like people love the MMC Jax. We follow Jax and Evangeline as they navigate curses and it's just like there's so much to the world. But in the first book, Evangeline solicits the help of a fate called Jax, and she is trying to stop her sister from marrying the love of her life. She goes to Jax for help. He stops the wedding and all hell breaks loose after that. And so she navigates the aftermath of that. She really comes into her own. She really builds a relationship with Jax, and Jax has character development. So Solid book, 4 stars for all of them. Then we have the first book in the Dreamland Billionaires trilogy, The Fine Print. We talked about the second one, didn't love it. This one was okay. I gave it 4 stars. I had a good time. I feel like 4 stars was a high rating, but I was so entertained. I was cooking while I started this, and honestly, I had a good time with it. We follow the youngest brother of the bunch, and he was cool. The girl was cool. Everybody was cool. So nobody offended me. Nobody annoyed me. 4 stars. We already talked about it, so that's it. Ooh, next up we have a freaking cult favorite, man. Everybody loves the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Everybody says this is a 5-star trilogy. I gave this one 4 stars. I gave the second one a higher rating, but Summer gifted this to me. I had it on my Amazon wish list, and she bought this for me, and I finally read it, and damn, this is good. Like, N.K. Jemisin is such a great writer, but essentially we're seeing the end of the world, and this is the 5th season, the 5th time that the world is ending. In book 2, we get like the reveal of why this even has been happening to begin with, but this world is very like geologically based. Like, they do talk about rocks and the earth and all that a lot, but it's not confusing. It's very straightforward, easy to follow along. The characters are great. In the first one, you get 3 POVs, and I thought that was masterfully done. You do have third point of view and second point of view, but I don't think it's very confusing. And it was very satisfying. 4 stars for this one. Thank you so much, Summer. Then we have book 2 in the Edens series, Juniper Hill. I really like this one. I felt like the couple was cool, but I didn't love them. I didn't fall in love with Knox and Memphis. She is a single mom, and he is this chef that lives in a small town. She ends up moving there. He helps her out. Romance. There is a conflict that she's dealing with, and he helps her through. It was sweet. It was cute. I preferred the first one. Then we have The Wedding People. This is a literary fiction, which is not a genre that I typically read, but I really enjoyed this. I will say this gets criticism for not dealing with the mental health. Great. And yeah, they're right. Like, she very much decides that she's not so depressed anymore instead of like going to therapy and stuff, but I didn't think about that while I was reading it. Now it's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. And I don't think about those things because they don't directly affect me. So sometimes, you know, like with anything, things they don't register with me because I haven't lived through that. So yeah, in hindsight, they're right. It really didn't deal with her mental health issues and her depression and her I don't want to spoil anything for you, but with the way that she was feeling, she just decided that life was worth living for, and she turned it around. So I see what they're saying, but in this we follow this girl, and everything's going south for her. She lost her job, she lost her partner, it's terrible. She ends up going away. Her name's Phoebe. She ends up going away on vacation, and she gets to the venue. She realizes that she's the only one there that's not there for a wedding. The bride thought she rented out the whole venue for the wedding people, and it turns out it's the wedding people and Phoebe. She gets sucked into the wedding people and starts spending time with them. She has so many interactions, and through this has epiphanies and changes the way that she sees things. So there's that. But I thought it was good, not great. But yeah, keep that in mind about the mental health. Next up, we have How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang. This, I feel like I rated it too high. I feel like it was more of a 3.5 star, but essentially we follow Helen, and she wrote some books that did really well, and they have been picked up to become a TV show, I believe, or a movie. And she ends up meeting this guy who is a screenwriter for the show / movie, and she realizes that she knows him, and the way that she knows him, the way she's tied to him is tragic. Honestly, tragic. It definitely is more of a heartfelt romance. I didn't love the romance in this, and that's why I think I rated it too high. Honestly, I might actually unhaul this one because while it was good, I didn't love it. I didn't connect with it because I've never been through what she went through, thankfully, but Yeah, there are, I'll just tell you because it has the page at the beginning, but trigger warning for, it says this story contains on the page discussions of grief, suicide, and death of a sibling. So none of those things are something that I've dealt with. So I couldn't really connect with her, but all in all, it was just okay. The romance was just okay. It was just okay. I'd say read it, but you don't need to run out for it. Next up, we have book 2 in the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Prince. I didn't love the first one, but this one I felt was good because I love Jem, the guy on the cover. I am just reading now for Jem and Jem only. I don't love the other two, Tessa and Will. I'm hoping that book 3 will get even better. But right now, as we stand, I don't think that my love for this book is enough for me to keep the trilogy. The third book's gonna have to be great for me to keep the trilogy. But yeah, the plot, the story itself, I don't care about. Right now, all I care about is Jem. And that's it, which is not a reason to keep an entire trilogy, in my opinion. Then I started the Chestnut Spring series with Flawless. And listen, Rhett, the guy in this book, he is my type. Physically, he's my type. I love the way that he was described, but as a person, as a whole, I don't know. I didn't love these characters. Like, I liked them, but I didn't love them. What I did love, though, was the family. I feel like, damn, I love his relationship with his brothers. His dad, I love his dad. He's so sweet. I love the small town vibes. Like, I feel like there is potential in here. I feel like I'm gonna love a Chestnut Spring book. This just wasn't the one. But that being said, I did like it. I did enjoy it. And the drama that unfolds with Summer and her sister, I want to know how that plays out because that was pretty good. Then I started another huge series, and we're talking like 10 books. The Zodiac Academy series. I started with The Awakening, book 1. And I feel like this is like trashy television in book form. I was so entertained. It was really good, but it wasn't good, if you know what I mean. Like, it's good because it's like such a train wreck, but like in the best way possible. I'm not dissing this book. I'm not one of those. Like, I know there's people that really shit on this series. That is not me. I really like this. I gave it 4 stars. It is a bully romance, but book 1 to me wasn't bully romance. We do have 4 guys bullying 2 girls, but they're not in a relationship. Like, they're just 4 shit guys bullying 2 girls. And so, yeah, we followed twins Tori and Darcy, who are humans. And on their 20th birthday, they end up getting whisked away to another land where there are fairies, vampires, werewolves, dragons, all these characters. And so they're like, what the hell? What is going on? They find out they're the heirs to this kingdom, and that if they go to this academy, Zodiac Academy, and complete it, they will get an inheritance with a ton of money, and they will become the queens of Solaria. They don't care about being queens. They don't want to be queens. They just want the money. So that's what they're there for. The 4 guys are the current heirs for the throne, because in their absence, 4 families took over, and so they are threatened by them, and they treat them like shit. It is what happens. Next up, we have The Holiday Swap, which I rated entirely too high. This is not 4 stars. This is more like 2.5 stars, but I got caught up in Christmas. However, this doesn't have a lot of Christmas. If you want Christmas, check out like In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, because this one doesn't have a lot of Christmas. It's leading up to Christmas. We have 2 twins. One of them is a chef on this like food show, and she's up to get a new show, so she's like really invested. She ends up having a workplace injury. I think like pots and pans or something fall on her head, give her a concussion. She loses the ability to taste and smell. Kind of key for a chef, so she pleads and begs for her twin sister to swap places with her because she really wants this new show. So that happens, and they each meet a guy who thinks they're the other twin, and that's basically the story. But not a lot of Christmas. Entirely too high of a rating, but it was entertaining while I read it. Moving on to the 4.25 ratings. First up, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is book 3 in the Empyrean series, 5-book series. I loved Fourth Wing. I know a lot of people they hate this series. I don't. I love it. I gave Fourth Wing 5 stars. I gave Iron Flame 4.5 stars because I liked it, except I wish we would have cut 100 pages of Violet and Xaden. They're stupid back and forth. That was annoying, but otherwise I liked the world building that we did in Iron Flame. And Onyx Storm, again, I didn't love the quest that Quest Squad went on. I feel like it was a little redundant, but I did enjoy it overall. Riddick was my favorite. I love Riddick, and I really like Auric too. So I like it. I like the bond that they have with the dragons. I feel like we're heading to having the dragons be more prevalent, and I'm ready for the Venom. I want more Venom. I love the Venom. So we'll see how this goes in book 4. Next up, book 2 in the villains, I don't know, trilogy now. This was a duology. Book 1 is Vicious, book 2 is Vengeful, and book 3 is Victorious. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't think we have a release date, but supposedly it's happening, and I hope it does because I love these books. Vicious is so good. In Vicious, we follow 2 best friends that are in college, and for their project, for their thesis, one of the friends decides to kind of dive into EOs, like extraordinary people, people that now have superpowers. The 2 friends figure out how to give themselves superpowers, and they end up becoming arch enemies. Nemesis. They come for each other. It is dramatic. It is so good. But book 2, we continue to follow them and their story, but we have additional characters. The only thing that I didn't love about this, the only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I didn't love the villain. I felt like the villain was just like, But alongside the villain, there was this other character, and the way that this leaves off, there's like a bonus chapter in here, I think. I'm so curious about her. I want to know what her deal is, and I cannot wait. V. Schwab needs to give me that 3rd book, like yesterday, because I need it. Oh, it's so good. I recommend for sure. Such an easy sci-fi, like such an easy way to go into sci-fi, because it's like a splash of sci-fi, you know what I mean? It's not like too crazy, but so good. Anyway, speaking of something that's not easy, Nona the Ninth, the Locked Tomb series. This is book 3 in the Locked Tomb series, a very difficult series to read. I'm not gonna lie, it is. You definitely have to use all the little brain cells up here because you're gonna need them. This is Necromancers in Space. It is so cool, unbelievably cool. Listen to the audiobooks while you follow along because you're gonna need to do both to be able to understand it. You can't just pick up the audio. I don't think you can. And if you can, you're my hero and you're so smart. But I could never. I had to follow along because it's complicated. Like the plot is complicated. The characters are complex. These reveals, the twists, it's just so crazy. But yeah, essentially in Gideon the Ninth, I feel like is the easiest to understand. But there are a ton of characters. I can't get into it without spoiling things. But it's such a cool story, but definitely not going to be for everyone and definitely a difficult read, but worth it. And the last of the 4.25 ratings, Heavenly Bodies. This was my book club's pick for March. And the first half, I wasn't invested. I honestly was like ready to put it down. But because it was the book club book, I was like, I have to push through. Like, I didn't hate it. But the first half was a little slow. However, I really loved all the characters and I was still in it because of the characters. In the like halfway point, we meet the big bad, the villain, and then things got going. My favorite part about this, the characters. I'm not a character-driven girl. But damn, I loved the main characters, the side characters, the bad guys, the good, everybody. I loved everybody in this. And the romance, I totally believed. The romance was romantic. The things that this man says to her and does for her was just like so sweet. I looked at my husband and I was like, you know, because that man has no romantic bones in his body. And so moving on to the 4.5 star ratings, I don't ever give 4.75. I don't even know if I have in the past. 4.5 to 5, but These are the 4.5 books. First up, The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This was so fun. We have two characters that meet during college and they don't know each other at all. The guy has a brother and the brother is the girl's friend. And they need housing desperately, but there's no more student housing available, only family housing. So the brother's like, hey, I have a brother, why don't you just marry him? And then you can get family housing. And they agreed to it. So they marry each other, borderline never talk to each other throughout their whole college life. And then they get a quickie divorce, go their separate ways, never think about each other again. But a couple years later, the guy shows up at her door and he's like, I need a favor. By the way, we're still married. Also, you need to pretend to be my wife and come with me on this like lavish vacation. And she's like, I'm sorry, what? She is like at her rock bottom, dealing with so much crap. She needs the money. So she's like, pay me and I'm there. And he agrees. So yeah, she's like so quirky and funny and fun. And he's so grumpy and serious. She also has pink hair. I really like them. I really like the story. It's very fun and like unserious, but definitely one that I think you should pick up, especially during the summertime. It's so good. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes, which is book 1 in the Ember in the Ashes quartet by Sabaa Tahir. This was so good. This is a YA fantasy book, and I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, we follow 2 main characters in this book at least. Later on, we will get another POV. But we follow 2 people who are living 2 very different lives. She's a slave and he is a soldier. So they're on opposite ends of the like spectrum. And they're both living 2 separate plot lines, but by the end they come together and become intertwined, and it's brutal. It's a brutal world. I'm sure this is gonna be a brutal story, but damn, it's good. This is what YA should be. This is like the epitome of YA. And you need to read it. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we have a book that it should not work for me. I'm not a cozy fantasy girl, but I am finding that I'm hit or miss with cozy fantasy. I love this. Legends and Lattes. This is book 1 in this world, but we do have Bookshops and Bone Dust, which even though it's book 2, is a prequel to this. And yeah, I love this. I just felt so happy and like hopeful and giddy, and I love the found family, the characters. I love that she works on her shop and like just everything, the baking, the coffee making, the relationships, everything was so sugary sweet in the best way possible. And I feel like the audiobook was so cute too. So I loved listening to this while I cooked myself. It was just like the perfect experience. Next up, we have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young, which is book 2, following Out on a Limb. I love Out on a Limb. I gave it 5 stars. It is a favorite of mine. This 4.5 stars. It was really good too, but it just was not as good as the first one. However, we follow the FMC from the first book, Win. We follow her best friends, Sarah and Caleb, and they have been together since they were like 14, and they ended up getting married and living their lives together. But Sarah, at the beginning of the book, realizes that she is not feeling very fulfilled, and not within her marriage, but herself. Like, she just feels unaccomplished. She just feels like Caleb is the one that succeeded, and she basically lives off of Caleb. Like, she has no accomplishments of her own, and she feels unfulfilled. And it starts affecting the marriage when she brings it up. But Caleb is a sweetheart, and he's like, let's work through it. Like, what can I do for you? But, you know, like, they both mean well, but they both tackle the problems that are coming up that they didn't even realize were problems until they started speaking about them. And I just feel like I really resonated with this because I met my husband when I was 16, and now we're together nearly 20 years. No, I was 15. Yeah. So we're coming up on our 20-year anniversary, and we had to go through these moments in these 20 years, you know? So I really, really liked it. I liked it. Don't come for me for this next one. I know it's not a 4.5 star rating book. I know. But while I was reading this, I had such a goofy, silly time. And the thing is that I laughed with the characters and I laughed at the characters. Like, I enjoyed this, but I also made fun of this. It was like entertaining but cringy. Like, we have werewolf romances in here, and it was incredibly spicy. A lot of spice, you know, spice equal to plot essentially. But I had a goofy, silly, good old time, and I don't regret it. Ooh, here's book 2 following the 5th season, The Obelisk Gate. 4.5 stars. Damn, this is getting better and better as we go. I cannot wait to finish out the trilogy. I hope that it just hits so hard. This was, to me, easier to read than the first one, but we do get a lot of more, like, the reveals, and the plot is progressing, and I'm so curious. How is this gonna end? It's so good. Next up, we have a reread, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I read this when it came out, gave it 4.5 stars, and then recently she announced Mate, book 2, and I got excited and I reread it, and again, 4.5 stars. Listen, I'm not gonna apologize for liking this. You can come for me. I loved it. It reminded me of when I was young and reading Vampire Academy, Bloodlines, Twilight, the House of Night series. That's like the epitome of teenage Ruby's years. Like, girl, this is vampire, werewolf, marriage of convenience. She's super like witty and bantery and like smart with it, and he's grumpy but like kind of has a soft spot for her. I'm not gonna apologize. Then we have one that, again, like the fake mate, don't come for me. I had a good time. My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. We have a friend group. The friend group signs up for a dating site because they're all professors at a university, and their university is going to be hosting this huge like gala event where President Obama's going to be at. And they're like, we can't just show up like the stupid friend group that we are. We need dates. We're adults. We're professors. And so they sign up for this dating site, and the girl ends up getting like made fun of by her friends because she really like has an awful profile. Like, she put nothing of herself in there, and they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, you made us great profiles. Why didn't you do the same for yourself? She makes an alternate profile and she doesn't tell them. She like puts another name, and she ends up matching with one of the friends. And I'm just saying, romance, but it is like dumb. It does have dumb humor. It's stupid. Like, they're so man children, and I loved it. Moving on to the 5-star reads. Dude, it is dark outside. I hope you can see. We're gonna try and work with it in the editing, but I'm gonna push through because we're almost done. 5-star ratings. These books are perfect for me. For me. I enjoyed my time. I would not change a single thing about these. They were great. I recommend. First up, remember, Christmas. So forgiving, but in this one, I loved everything about it. I love the story, the characters, and the Christmas. We had a lot of Christmas in here. They do all kinds of things. Build snowmen, have fights, go sledding, pick up Christmas trees, open presents, cook, bake, everything. It's in here. Also, we have friends to lovers and time travel aspect to it, because she's doing this groundhog situation where she's reliving the same week, but it's just in the beginning, and then it sticks. So it's not huge on the time travel, but it's there in the beginning. I love this. I love the conflict, and I love the friendships that are in here with the adults, and then the kids, which are also grown adults, and then there's actual kids. Like, I just love everything about this book, and I definitely recommend it. If you want to pick up something during the Christmas time, read this one, because I think it's a really, really good one. I love it. Next up is one that, while I don't think that it is exactly 5-star worthy, damn, did I have a good time reading it. And I know that I gave this 5 stars because I see the potential. I see the vision that Penn Cole has. I know the next book is gonna be 5 stars. I'm hoping it'll be 6 stars. I don't know, but I see the vision and I had to do it. But in this, we follow, damn, I don't even know what to say. We follow this girl. Her name's DM, the most hated FMC of all time. I think I have heard everybody say that they hate this girl, and in this book I didn't hate her. I never grew to hate her. Like, yeah, it's kind of dumb, but I never hated her. So I'm waiting for it. I'm bracing myself, but maybe I just don't hate the way other people hate. I'm not sure. I haven't unlocked that feature, but yeah, we follow her. She's just like a normal human girl, but there are like people with powers in this, and of course, like, the people with power oppress the people that don't have powers. She ends up caught between these people. I think they're called the Descended. Yeah, the Descended and the rebellion. So she's caught in the middle, and she's also, her mom's missing. She doesn't know if her mom got kidnapped, got killed, ran away. She doesn't know. It has so much potential. I cannot wait to read that second book. I'll be doing that soon. For sure. I have to. It's so good. And next up, we have a reread. The first time I read this, I think I gave it 4.25 stars. Reread it, gave it 5 stars. It's fun. But my favorite, Emily Henry, 6-star, Happy Place. Because I deeply, deeply connected to Harriet, the FMC of that book. Like, it's deeply personal to me, and that's why I love it. But this was just fun. It was just fun. You have Daphne and Miles. Daphne is engaged to Peter. Miles is in a relationship with Petra. At the beginning of the book, Peter goes on his bachelor party and he comes back the next day and tells Daphne that it's off. He calls it quits. He says, I'm in love with Petra, who he's known since like childhood. And she's like, what the do you mean? You're leaving me? Like, and so she comes to terms with it. She's like, well, like, are you leaving now? And he's like, this is my house. It's under my name. But Petra and I are going on vacation. We're going to give you about a week to gather your things because we're just that nice. Like, wow. The audacity. And so he leaves with Petra to have a nice little vacation while Daphne exits the premises. And Miles, Petra's boyfriend, ends up knocking on the door and he's like crying. He's devastated. And Daphne's like, they're gone. They're with each other. Like, they left us. Daphne ends up moving in with Miles, and it's a really good story. I really like it. It's fun. But the thing that Daphne has going on with her dad, I didn't care. So that's why I gave it 4.25 stars originally. Oh, there's my miniature schnauzer. Because like, I didn't care. I didn't feel for her. I just couldn't care less, to be honest. But I do love Daphne and Miles together, so 5 stars. A low 5 stars. This next one was a surprise to me because I tried to read this a couple years ago. DNF'd it. DNF did really early on. I was just so bored. Picked it up recently. I think it's like a Bookshelf Ultimatum vlog or something. And I loved it. I love the drama of it, but I also love the story structure. I love the way that we follow along chronologically, but each like chunk, each section is following a different husband. But it's not necessarily about the husband. It's always about Evelyn Hugo. But the way that she wrote this, I think is masterfully done. I really liked it. We follow Evelyn Hugo. She's already like old. She's like in her 70s, 80s, something like that. And she's telling her life story to this reporter. We don't know why she chose this reporter because she specifically asked for this little nobody to write her like tell-all book. But you do find out at the end. But yeah, she essentially interviews her, learns her whole life story. The biggest movie star in the world. She has the exclusive, and you see everything that she goes through, everything that she went through in Hollywood as a woman, as a minority. I think she's Cuban, maybe. impactful. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was entertained. I felt for her. I'm not someone that feels emotions. Like I'm never gonna cry in a book. I'm never gonna get to that point, but it was good. I liked it. 5 stars. Ooh, this one I picked up because of the hype. Strictly because of the hype, and the hype did not let me down. 5 stars for The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This is literary fiction, not really my thing, but wow. So this was described to be like Daisy Jones and the Six meets what? Meets something else. I forgot what people were saying. I don't know. But oh yeah, Magnolia Parks. Magnolia Parks meets Daisy Jones and the Six. Daisy Jones, because of the interview aspect, they are doing some interviews in here. And then Magnolia Parks because of the drama. The drama is drama-ing. The drama is there. The drama was everything. The drama was delicious. The drama was like everything that you want happening to somebody else, not to you. But like, you know, the train wreck that you can't look away from. That's what this is. It was so good. We followed 2 figure skaters from like the age of 10 and their like tumultuous relationship growing up together as skating partners. And then you explore like the relationships not only with themselves but with others around them and their careers, their ups, their downs. There's drugs, there's sex, there's everything in here. So good. Read it. Then we have a surprise to me. Listen, I don't give romances 5 stars very often, and the romances that I do give 5 stars like Emily Henry, where it's like it's a little bit more than romance. It's borderline like women's fiction, literary fiction with like romance in it. This is romance, just spicy book, like just, you know, that type of romance. But damn, I freaking loved it. I got this as an arc. It wasn't even an arc that I requested. It was just like offered to me and I was like, fine, whatever. Dude, this was so good. Only in Your Dreams by Ellie K. Wilds. I just got the arc for the second book. Again, like they offered it to me and I was like, yes, like, yeah, I need it because I love this. This is a sports romance, but kind of not really. He is a football coach. So it doesn't like, the football is there the whole time, but it's not like central. Like it's not all about the football. You know what I mean? But these two went to high school together and they had a crush on each other throughout high school. But he was her twin brother's best friend and her twin brother really didn't want her dating like the guys, you know? So nothing really came of it until their senior prom. They share a moment and then he ghosts her for the next 10 years. And you think to yourself, self, how am I gonna love this man? You do. You just do. I don't know what to tell you. He is so down bad for her. These past 10 years, all he's thought about is her. Never moved on from her. And she did. But she is like at her rock bottom at the beginning of the book. Moves back to her hometown and they reconnect. But she is pissed because she doesn't forget that he ghosted her and left her when she was like vulnerable, you know? It's good. The spice was so good. I don't typically like spice. Like I do get secondhand embarrassment with spice, but not here, friends. It was really good. I don't know, I liked it. It's romance, but it was good. And then this one, these are like better than the movies. And you know what? Let me get my reading journal because I don't remember what they're called. It's 3 separate little short stories. Like to call it a story would be a stretch. I think combined they were 99 pages, so I just counted it as one book. But I am gonna get my reading journal because I don't remember what they're all called. But these, I believe, are still available on the Simon & Schuster teen website throughout 2025. I think they're only going to be available for 2025, so check them out if you're a big fan of the Better Than the Movies world by them painter like I am. I gave Better Than the Movies 5 stars. It's probably the best YA romance that I've ever read. YA contemporary romance. I love it. And these are little short stories in that world following those characters. So first we have better than before. And this one is the only one that has Wes and Liz, but also has Bailey and Charlie, which they're the FMC and the MMC of Betting on You, another one of her YA books that I didn't love. It was okay, didn't love them, but it turns out that Charlie is Wes's cousin. So that's how we get that crossover. But that one was my least favorite. Then we have Nothing Better Than You. And this was Liz and Wes's first kiss from Wes's point of view. And listen, I love Wes. He's like a top book boyfriend for me, despite him being a teenager. So let's look past that. Let's pretend that in real life, I would never, but you get it. He's just the cutest. And yeah, that's like the first kiss from his POV. And these really add to the story. Like Wes's POV is everything, because if you know Wes, you know how lovable and likable he is. Like everybody loves Wes. So being in his head just made things so much better. And then the other one is Better Than the Prom. And this is the prom scene. Like when, I don't want to spoil it, but you know what happened, what went down. So good. So good. Because you get Wes's POV and it's so good. It like hurts because I'm smiling so much. But 5 stars for all 3 of those together, because I just love this world and these characters, and Wes Bennett is everything. Everything. Like he's just so sweet and I love him. And then moving on to the 6-star reads. I only have 3 6-star books on my 6-star shelf. I started reading books when I'm the end of 2023. So while I've read more books, I didn't rate them, and I wouldn't even know what to rate them at this point. I'd have to reread them. But since I started rating books in like mid 2023, these are the only ones on my 6-star shelf. There's one we're not going to talk about because I didn't read it this year. I read it, I think, in 2023. Happy Place, one of my favorite books of all time. Again, very personal to me. So let's start off with one that I think is recognized to be an amazing book. It's popular. It's by a super respected author. And I feel like nobody would question me giving this one 6 stars. That is Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wang. The reason that I put this as a 6-star book is because it is impactful to me personally. I related to things that were happening. This is like a heavier read. Definitely not your silly, goofy time. Definitely impactful and heavy and thought-provoking and emotionally draining at times. This was just such a good story. She is such a good writer. But in this, essentially, we follow Sayona. And Sayona is a part of, I guess, the government. She attended this like magic school, right? And she's essentially has magic. She knows how to manipulate magic, and it's very science-based. But she ends up testing to become a high mage. And there are not a lot of high mages in the society. They're like the ones running the world, right? Running the government. And there are no women high mages because the patriarchy rules here. There's all the isms that you can find. Sexism, racism, all the isms in here in one way or another. And she ends up joining, and she gets treated like shit because she's a woman, naturally. And she is like, I don't have a research assistant. And the others have like multiple research assistants. And they're like, you can take him, the janitor. She realizes the janitor is actually really smart, and she didn't think that he would be because he is a Quen, and a Quen is a different race. Essentially, they come from somewhere else. They were seeking asylum because their land is being plagued by the blight. Literally like liquefies you on the spot. And so they ran away trying to just survive, and they go to this land and they're treated as less than because they don't look the same. They have different skin color. They don't look the same. they have a different language, and so they're treated as less than. They're used for labor. They are treated like scum. And she has been complicit with this because it didn't affect her. So why would she worry about it? She has her own things to worry about. She has to fight the patriarchy, you know? So why would she care about these people and these children? And, you know? And so as she develops a relationship with this guy, a friendship with him, and, you know, they become partners, colleagues, if you will, she starts seeing things a little differently, and it's so impactful. I'm obviously not going to spoil things for you, but I just felt so many emotions. And like I said, I don't feel emotions all that much. I'm not someone that feels my emotions, especially within books. I'm primarily talking about books, all that strongly, but I felt sadness and anguish, and I felt anger and rage, and I also felt hopefulness and, you know, maybe not happiness, but I went through like all the emotions in here, and that is why this is 6 stars, because clearly I am a minority, as you can probably tell, and I just very much felt for these people. And I also liked the story. I also thought it was cool. It was unique. The magic system is really cool. It's basically like magic, but also kind of like computer coding. It's interesting, and I recommend it to anybody. Read it. If you don't love it, that's okay, but I don't think that you can say it's a bad book. It might not be for you, but I think anybody can acknowledge that it's a good book. Now, this next one, this next 6-star read is just for me. I know we got like deep and in our feelings with that last one. No, this one's just for me, girl. Like, if you don't like it, I understand, because this is for a certain type of person. But if you are like me, pick it up. So I love anime. I really, really love anime. I never really got into manga. It's not for me. But recently I got into Overlord, and I watched some of the anime, but I wanted to read the light novels because, again, I'm not a big manga girl, and Overlord is an isekai story. If you don't know what isekai is, basically it's when like your main characters go into like the like game world or fictional worlds that, how do I explain it? Rewind. So basically an isekai story is when the FMC or MMC gets dumped into their game world, right? Like they literally get transported into these worlds. In this, she gets transported into her favorite fantasy book series, not her favorite video game. So different, but isekai. And damn, I love this. I freaking love this. This was everything to me. I was so entertained. I feel like if I had to pick a favorite from all the 55 books that I've read this year, it's gonna be this. It's gonna be this because it was for me. It was from, she wrote this for me. She told me. So good. So yeah, we follow Ray, who is a human girl. She's 20 and she's dealing with cancer, and she's been going through treatment for a while, and she's just still really, really sick, not improving. And her sister, she has a little younger sister who she loves. She adores her, and her sister's favorite book series of all time is called Time of Iron. And while Ray's in the hospital, her sister reads these books to her, and Ray tries to be like, oh, I don't even like those books that much, but she secretly does. And so yeah, she has listened to her sister read these books to her, and they've really helped her get through the treatment and like her illness and like everything that she's going through, which is horrible. But at the beginning of the story, she gets this mysterious visit from this lady that she's never met in her life. And the lady's like, so you've got cancer. Duh. But what you don't know is that the treatment is gonna fail. It's gonna be a fail and you're gonna die. And she's like, who are you, lady, coming here bullying a cancer patient? And she just literally bulldozes over her, and she's like, listen, you're gonna die. That's a fact. But here's the deal. And so she essentially tells her, like, you can go into this fictional world and find this object. If you find it within this time, then you will be transported back to your world cancer-free. Huzzah. And so she doesn't believe her, but she ends up falling asleep and she wakes up in this world. And not only is she in this fictional fantasy series world, she is a villainess. She's not the like main villain of the story, but she's the villainess. And she's like, what the fuck? And so she's dealing with the fact that she's in a fictional world, but also she sees that there's pros. She doesn't feel bad. She can eat. She doesn't have cancer in this world. So yeah, very much like with other isekai stories, she becomes very like immersed in the world, involved in the world, and it's so good. It's so good. My favorite character from the start was, she has a maidservant and a guard, and the guard, his name's Key. He's so unhinged, like so unhinged, like comically unhinged, but I loved him. The humor is stupid. It's stupid humor. Like they say some dumb shit in here, but it was for me. So if you pick this up and you hate it, don't come for me, because I'm warning you that it takes a special person to like this. So just freaking loved it. I can't wait to read the next one. It's coming out later this year. I'm gonna be there, and I hope that it's just as good or even better. It has so much potential the way that this ended. Please, Sarah, don't let me down, because I love it. We reached the end. I'm sure that was stupidly long. I'm sorry. I tried, but you know how it is. If you follow me, you know how it is. But thanks for hanging out. Let me know what your favorites have been so far. Whether you read one book, 10 books, 50 books, dude, it doesn't matter. As long as you read something you liked, that's amazing. So let me know what your favorites have been down below. Maybe I'll add them to my TBR. As always, give the video a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon with another one. Bye.